the Arch Gaming Network is proud to bring you this flash review. Now here's your host, Sean Smith.
Hello, and thank you for stopping by. Today we're taking a look at the game Fabled Fruit, which was designed by Friedman Freeze and published by Stronghold Games. Fabled Fruit is a worker placement set collection game for 2 to 5 players. The object of the game is that you are going to be going around to these different locations, performing actions to collect fruits that you'll then use to turn into these fabled juices. If you collect the required amount of those juices, you'll win the game. Now, this is considered a fabled game, kind of a new twist on gaming, a new mechanism where as you progress through the gameplay will change. Well, why don't we take a look at the setup and a quick overview of the game, and I'll give you my thoughts on the other side. Okay, to set up Fabled Fruit is pretty straightforward. You have this stack of location cards, okay, and this is about a third of the location cards. There are 59 different locations, and they are signified up here. You're going to want to keep these cards in order. What you're going to do is take each location, and each location, for example, this is location 1, each location has 4 cards, they're all the same, and you're going to set out the first 6 locations. Next, each player is going to choose an animal. They're going to take the cardboard cutout and the wooden representation of that particular animal. I'm going to be the snake. Next, you have these fruit cards. There are 5 different fruits in the game. There's pineapple, banana, coconut, strawberry, and grape. What you're going to do is you're going to go through and you're going to look for these double fruit cards. There are, I believe, 10 of them. You're just going to pull those out. You're not going to need them for now. After you've pulled those out, each player will get 2 fruit cards. You also have some additional components like this monkey who will play the thief in the game. Don't need that for now. You also have some cardboard representations of the different fruits, the smoothies, which are wild. Again, you don't need these at the beginning, so you're just going to place those off to the side, and then you have these double-headed tied up stake thingies. Again, not sure what these are for yet. Haven't gotten that far in the game, but put them off to the side. And you're now ready to play Fabled Fruit. Now, the object of the game is to collect enough fruits so that you can buy these cards. Now, at the bottom of the cards, they have the cost. So in this case, you would need to collect 3 pineapples, and then the smoothie is wild, so you could trade in any other fruit for that. Whenever you do buy one, you're just going to flip it over and place it down in front of you. The number on the card does not matter. This just tells you which location it came from. It is not worth any points. Now, to be able to collect enough fruits, what you need to do is to visit one of the locations on the board. Now, we're going to go over these first 6 locations so that you can get an idea of what they do. There are 59 different locations, and we're not going to go over them because, quite frankly, that would take forever.
Correct.
But not only that, one of the most fun parts about this game is exploring and discovering these new locations. All right, the first location is draw 2 fruits. If you go here, real simple. You just draw 2 fruits. For this location is exchange 1 banana for 2 fruits. So you would go through your hand. If you had any bananas, you could trade that in and then draw 2 from here. Now, if I were to go here, and I don't have any bananas, this card has a signpost on it, and some do and some don't. Whenever a card has a signpost, it means that if you cannot perform that action, if you didn't have a banana to trade in, you can still go here and draw 1 card from the top of the deck. This card here allows you to draw 1 fruit, then ask another player to give you 3 of their cards. Then you're going to take all those cards into your hand, and then you're going to pick 3 of them and give them back to that player. On here, you're going to offer 1 fruit to everybody. So you can place your cards face up, and then starting with the player clockwise to your left, you are going to offer them a fruit. If they take one, and everyone who takes a fruit, you'll get to draw 2 from this deck. This one is draw back to 3 fruits. So you could discard any number of fruits from your hand. Let's say, for whatever reason, I didn't want those, and I just left 1. I could now draw 2 more cards so that I'm back to 3. And the final one is kind of the gambling spot. This is to take unique fruits. So starting with 1 at a time, you'll flip over a fruit. You can take that if you want, or you can press your luck. If you decide to move on and you hit a duplicate, you lose them all and they go back. So on your turn, you're just going to pick one of the spots and move to it and then perform that action. So in this case, we would draw 2. Then the next player can go somewhere else. Let's say they want to take unique fruits. Now, they can go to this spot if they want, but if they do that, they have to give one of their fruit cards to that player and to every player that is on that spot. All right, let's say we've played a few rounds here and we've been collecting some cards. Now it's our turn and we want to buy this card. When you buy a card, first you're going to move to it. You can't buy a card that you were already on. So if we were here at the start of our turn, we'd have to move somewhere else and then come back and buy that spot. But once you move to it, you can exchange. You know, it costs 3 strawberries and 1 smoothie, which is a wild, so I can choose any other card that I want. Discard those, and then I get this, turn it over, and it is mine.
Hey you, come over here.
Now the object in a 2-player game is to be the first one to collect 5 of these. In a 3-player game, it's 4. And in a 5 or 6-player game, it is 3 of these fabled juices. Whenever somebody takes and gets a fabled juice, you will take a card from the top of the deck and place it next to the rest of the locations that are out there. Now, the next player who takes a fabled juice, you would stack those, and you would continue to stack those on top until you have stacked all 4. Once you have done that, you can then start another stack. So the game will constantly change with new locations and new actions that you can take. The first one to get the requisite number of fabled juices is the winner. All right, now one thing you can do with this game is, let's say you've played a few rounds and you're done playing for the night. You can save your progress. On the back of the glossary, there is a space where you can write down all the players' names and then write down how many of each card was out on the board, so that the next time that group gets together to play, you can pick up where you left off. Okay, so that is how you play Fabled Fruit. Now, looking at the components of the game, I found them to be very well done. The artwork on the cards are really nice. I like the wooden components that are in the shape of each of the animals. I think that's a nice touch. The location cards have a pretty clear description of what you can do on them, but if there's any question, if you're not quite sure, there is a glossary that's included that gives you a little more in depth on each of the 59 locations in here. So if you have any questions, you can consult that. So, and I found we've always found that to be a little helpful. The game is quick to play. It is easy to teach. It is easy to learn, and I think would make a really good gateway game. Now, it does say that it's a fabled game, which, in the truest sense of the word fable that I know of, it's supposed to tell a story, but I don't see that this game really tells a story so much. But the way they kind of describe it as a game that changes over time certainly is true. Now, like I said, whether you want to call it a fable game or not, I kind of consider it, just for me, kind of more like a legacy game. Whoa, please get your finger off the thumbs down, back away from the comments section. I am not saying that this game is a legacy game, because you can play it over and over. My wife and I have started this game over multiple times with different groups, starting with the first 6 locations, and you know, it plays fine. It's fun. So in that regards, it's not a legacy game. You can continue to play it. You don't destroy pieces, and when you're done with it, you could play it again. But for me, One of the most exciting parts and the most fun part about this game is being able to discover the new locations. And once I've found or discovered all the different locations and have worked all the way through the game, I'm not sure if I would be as apt to play it again. Okay, because the most fun part of it for me would be gone. That's not to say I wouldn't play it. I think it's a great little game that, like I said, a gateway game other people would find enjoyment in, and I'd love to watch them as they discover new locations as well. So that's kind of what I mean by a legacy game. Now, as you go deeper into the game, you can see that it becomes a little more take that-ish in it. You know, the first few locations, everything's fun, everything's great, everybody's having a good time. But then there are some, and we've only gotten through the first 17 locations in the box, so we have a lot of locations to still discover. But it has been fun to see these new locations come out and see some of the ways that these cards interact with each other. I find it very enjoyable to play. So for me, I would recommend this game. I've had a lot of fun with it. I give this game an 8 out of 10. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please take a second to hit the like button below and subscribe to our channel. Check out our other great videos. And once again, thank you for stopping by.
This Flash Review was brought to you by the Arch Gaming Network. Check us out on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.